This car has two keys. One is for you, and the green one is for the valet. He can park the car with this, but he cannot open the boot. I presume this is so he can't find all the stolen goods in your car.
Imagine winning the 24-hour Le Mans endurance race 7 times. Imagine reassuring reliability from a 7-day engine torture test.
I am not a low-paid journalist. Not in this car. No, in this car, people don't want me to work. They just give me money. Rolex wants me to be their brand ambassador, and hotels just let me sleep in their hotel for free. And it's not that I'm rich, that I'm wealthy, that I'm famous. It's because I have a Jag. There are many car brands. Some want to make something practical. Others want to make a fast car. Some want to make a big car. And Jaguar used to be the best at making a particular kind of car. The cool car. A couple of weeks ago, a friend came to me and said, "Hey Nikita, oh wise Nikita, I have some money to spend. Should I buy a 996 Porsche or a Jaguar XK8? I told him the Porsche is a logical choice, the reasonable choice, but the Jaguar, well, that's a cool choice. We don't get a lot of these cars anymore, even though there has never been a bigger array of expensive vehicles. These cars are different. They are big, lavish and shouty, and, not to forget, stupidly expensive. But what makes this car so cool? First, the obvious. It is a good-looking car, but it's not bragging. It is simple. And I really love this pack with the silver wheels, blue paint, and tan interior. And time plays into its hands, simply because there is no way you could make a car looking like this nowadays. Car makers would prefer to make cars like this, but because of regulations, that's just not possible anymore. It is also quite fast, at least in straight lines. It is good for overtaking a lorry. But it's not my first choice to chase down mountain roads. But that doesn't matter because you're never late in a Jag. What also makes this car cool is that it is relatively inoffensive. It doesn't make any obnoxious loud noises, which I would personally change and put in another exhaust. It has a V8 engine, but by the way it sounds, it could be a 4-cylinder engine. But then again, no, because no 4-cylinder engine could pull this car in such a smooth and comfortable manner. But you know what engine could? An electric engine. And I know this may be a bit triggering for some, because we all know last year Jaguar turned all fruity and electric, but I don't think it's that bad. I know what you're saying, but you are wrong. When you think of Jaguar, we too often think about sporty cars, but its actual bread and butter were comfortable, luxurious GT cars like this one. And they just had to look the part. They had to look good, which I think that new one kind of does. But to be frank, yeah, it's not a cool car. Anyway, let's get back to this. Getting into the car is quite easy because you're sitting relatively high. I guess they did that because their clientele is more elderly, but it still means that I have barely any room sitting here upright, even though the seat is all the way down, which means that I have to slouch like this. Otherwise, I'm just hitting my head. And because I have hurt my back in the gym a week ago, right now driving this car is quite miserable. But actually it's a very nice cabin. I like the woods, I like the leathers, and the seats are actually comfortable. It's just really my back is killing me. And in the back there are 2 useless seats, well, at least for humans. For my friend who has 2 dogs, These seats are very good. Now, we always like to complain about screens, but in this car I would like to complain about buttons, because judging by the layout of those buttons and the way I have to sit in here, ergonomics is not a word which you could find in Jaguar's vocabulary. Even though the seats are weird and the buttons are a mess, I really like to be in here because it's full of nice wood and leathers. I love how the speakers are integrated. I love how this little thing here is made of leather. I like the analog clock. Yeah, it's quite nice to be in here. But how is it to drive? And I'll say it again, this is not a sports car. Sometimes it fools you of being a sports car because you press the sports button and then it really gets going. You start thinking, oh yeah, I'm Steve McQueen, and then the corner comes and you're, oh no, I don't want to end up like James Dean. The first problem is the steering. For some reason, it is not linear. I actually went to the mechanic and he told me, no, that's actually how these cars were built. Let me try to explain to you what the problem is. In the middle, the steering wheel has quite a lot of play without actually doing anything. In the middle, there's nothing. If you steer a little bit, something happened, and then around 45 degrees, it suddenly darts to the side. If you're not used to this kind of car, it can be a little bit dangerous. I was driving in a roundabout and suddenly the car was going more left than I wanted it to. Then it's how it accelerates. As I already said, in sports mode, it is quite an enjoyable car to accelerate. You can feel the speed building up. It is quite fast. But in sports mode, it kind of gets a bit jumpy, especially in slow speeds. It's not ideal. Also, the brakes are not ideal. I just don't trust the car to go fast. Best way to drive this car is take out the sports button, slouch like on a couch, even though it hurts now a little, sit back, put down the throttle and cruise. We are doing now exactly the speed limit, and it's quiet and I hear nothing. It's not Rolls-Royce quality, but it is very comfortable. It's very nice. Now it would be perfect to cruise down the highway to the Riviera and jump into the ocean. It even is practical. The boot is actually really big. Right now it is full of stolen goods, and as I already mentioned, in the back you can put even more bathing suits or something. So yeah, now why would you buy this car? You buy this car because it's not the logical choice. The logical choice would be a Porsche. But if you buy a Porsche, you are just another Porsche driver. If you buy this car, you're someone who has a Jag.